Hey folks, Joel from Rising Phoenix Outdoors YouTube channel, and it's another Sunday, it's another video, and kind of a two-parter here. I don't know how long this is going to run. We'll see. It's a really good topic that I'm going to title this video in, touch on it just a little bit, but I did want to give a $30 work knife update thing. In the last video, I was carrying the Tactica folder, kind of, it's got a clip on it. I didn't bring it with me, but it held up pretty good. It did have some concrete strikes on it. There are some small chips taken out of the blade. Does affect its cutting power. Obviously, I've sharpened it. Gonna have to get a I'm just gonna have to take some time and put it on the stone and get it back to where it needs to be. Great. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Is it a great knife? Yes, absolutely. It did have some problems deploying it one-handed. That clip was just a little too tight, and yes, I know I can go in there and bend it and do things, but I don't quite want to do that quite yet. So, but here's a shocker on the 30-day work knife challenge update, whatever. I also believe I said that there might have been something that you guys would be surprised that I was carrying at work to utilize as a cutting tool, cutting implement. And here it is. Here it is. Dun, 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 dun. Oops, sorry. Yep. And as you can see, I've got my hand wrist in a splint. Just aggravated an old injury while I was at work. No big deal. Does it hurt? Yes. Do I have to go see a doctor? Yes. Is there going to be an orthopedic involved? I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, bought this, wow, when was it? It was last year. Okay. This is the second one I've owned. This is the SOG Seal Pup. This is one that you can buy right off the shelf at Academy. As a matter of fact, that's where I bought it from, was Academy Sports, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And I've had one before. As a matter of fact, I used that exact same knife with a different sheath when I was scuba diving, and I would just use it as a dive knife. Now, me and my wife at the time and an old buddy of mine, we took a trip down to Cabo San Lucas for some diving. We had gone diving. And of course, I brought all my gear back to the hotel to rinse it from the seawater. Had to go pull that knife out of the BC and ended up cutting my thumb practically to the bone. Had to have stitches. The dive trip wasn't ruined, but it was kind of a damper. But you want to talk about a sharp knife. Yep. So the original knife I had that attached to my BC was a Kydex sheath. The one that I got from Academy Sports has this nylon one, and I'm not too thrilled about it, but it is MOLLE compatible. It does have a belt loop. Oh, let's see if I can do this without hurting it. Right where my thumb is, right there, right? I've worn it up there too, a little more of a high ride, but it did come with a pocket, and I cut that off. There was nothing in the pocket, you know, like I suppose you could put some fire starting stuff in there, maybe a sharpening stone, whatever. But if anybody's paying attention to this channel, I am kind of a stickler about sheaths because they're all about style and function. You know, have to have the right sheath for the right knife and for the right location and the right outfit. Oh, but it's a great self-defense knife too. I wouldn't be, it's so far at work, it's doing everything I asked it to do, and the AUS-8 steel is extremely sharp. But it is, I think, quite honestly, it's more of a tactical knife and a self-defense knife than, say, just an everyday carry work knife. But you can carry it every day. Of course, I'm proving that. So, hey, speaking of self-defense, and this one here is for all you ladies out there. Oh, yeah. It was suggested to me by a subscriber, Melissa McAllister 13. She's got her own channel. I don't think she's producing anything. It's just usually to kind of see what's going on YouTube if somebody sends her something or whatever. But she's a good friend. And she had actually suggested that I do a episode based on self-defense for women. Tools, not going to do tactics, but tools and things that will try to cover from A to Z. But I also know that, holy moly, there are so many caveats, you know, involved that I'm not going to be able to touch on everything. Okay. So I'm going to give it my best shot. And I'm going to divide this into two camps, okay? You're either the Barbie dream house girl, okay, or you're the girl that's burning Barbie's dream house down. Okay, right? And you're got to be in between somewhere, okay? Now, self-defense for ladies, it's difficult because ladies, for the most part, are always concerned about their appearance, right? Okay, and nothing wrong with that. That's not vanity. That's nothing else. But you can't tell me that a woman who's going to, be out on the not out on the streets. I hope not out on the streets. In a professional working environment, is going to want to carry a seal pup in something like this. Okay, just doesn't work. Okay. She may not even want to carry that in her purse. Might be too bulky. It might get caught on things. She might not even carry a purse. Just might be one of those chain wallet gals that I've discussed before, right? Okay. So what are the options? Okay. Well, how about, most people drive. Okay. So you can carry something like that in your vehicle. Okay. But I'm also a big advocate of 2 is 1, 1 is none. Okay. So, self-defense situations, you should be able to have something on you that should stop the threat. Okay. Now I'm going to stop here and give my disclaimer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a cop anymore. And I don't know, unless you're in Texas, I don't know your local or state laws in regards to self-defense, what you can and cannot carry, knives, blade lengths, pepper spray, bear spray, stun bags, claymore mines. I don't know any of that stuff. It's up to you to know the laws and to act responsibly and appropriately if you decide to carry some of this stuff. Okay. So back to it, right? Number one is going to be style, form, and function for a pocket knife like this Kershaw Conduit, which I said in the last one is a great addition for a self-defense tool for a woman, businesswoman, working in the field. It doesn't matter. Maybe she's just stuck in the kitchen. I don't say that facetiously. I don't say that mean or misogynistically. Nope. There are women like that. There are women that strive for that. We all know it. Once again, no judgment. Okay. So yeah, you could stick this in a purse. The clip right there, the pocket clip, will serve for that. And guess what? It's easy. It should be easy to access, and you can deploy it one-handed if you need to. Okay, if you need to stop a threat. Okay. But there's other caveats too. That's usually for like the businesswoman. Well, what about the woman that, especially where I live and work, what about the woman that's out there on the ranch, or the woman that's just a tomboy, right? It's funny I mention that because the ladies that I see that are ranchers, that are raising sheep, goats, even cattle and horses, I always see them come in and they've always got a leather sheath with a pocket knife in it, right? Even the little girls, 4 or 5 years old, who are dressed to the nines with their straw hat and their ivory, their pearl snap button shirts. I'm not lying to you when I'm saying they're carrying a sheath with a tiny little knife in it, right? They know the importance of a knife. They know how many times you're going to be utilizing it, etc., etc. And I'm not saying in a self-defense situation, you see some of those ranching ladies, you don't want to mess with them, because guess what? If you're a criminal looking on intent to do harm on somebody else, you don't want to go with somebody who's going to be possibly armed. Oh no, that puts you at risk, right? Yeah, no. So what I'm trying to get at, without being too verbose, I'm trying to keep this in a short time frame here, is there's knife manufacturers out there, ladies, that you can find something slim enough, small enough, easily accessible enough to wear practically any day of the week and with any outfit. Yes, they make different handled scales for this, and the scales are the outside there. You can, I don't know about Kershaw, but guess what? There are so many companies out there right now making different colored scales, different types of scales for several different knives out there. And you can get something that, number one, suits your self-defense needs. Okay. And number two, is concealable or is easy to get at. And trust me, folks, I know I'm all over the place with this, but self-defense is a very important thing to me. You have to be able to protect yourself, even if it's something just like this. I remember growing up, and my dad got my mother when they were married, and oh man, I must have been third, fourth grade. He got her a little ivory hand, not ivory, maybe it was pearl, something like that, little pocket knife. The thing was only probably about 2.5 inches long, and that thing was sharp. But one of the problems I see about that, carrying that in the bottom of a purse, is that it's just that, it's at the bottom of a purse. No, if you need to defend yourself in any situation, you have to have, whether it be your keys, a firearm, let's see here, pepper spray, bear spray, mace. You should have it on you, and you should be easily deployed if need be, because you want to stop the threat. And that's it. Stop the threat. Okay. And that's another thing that we really have to touch on in the next couple of minutes. It's already going at 11 minutes here, and I know I don't want to be too long-winded, but the psychology about carrying a self-defense tool. Okay. We don't think about our keys being a self-defense tool, but you wrap those things with a key sticking out of your knuckles, not me, because that's a boxer's fracture, right? Guess what? That's going to hurt. If you punch somebody, scratch somebody, you have to go hands-on, okay? But you want to stop the threat. And you normally don't want to do that. You normally don't want to put yourself in any of those situations. When that gut instinct starts sending off red flags, you want to get the hell out of there, okay? You don't want to just see how it's going to go. You don't want to pull out your phone and start taking video for YouTube or TikTok or anybody else. No, you want to get the hell out of Dodge, right? But you want to be safe doing it, and you've got to take care of yourself doing it. That's also the psychology mindset that you have to have. Oh, I don't want to be there. Well, then get the hell out of Dodge, okay? But what happens if you are there and now all of a sudden you have to defend yourself? Well, the psychology behind that is pretty simple. You have to be able to say, my life is more important than the person who's attacking me. Okay, number one. And number two, you have to be prepared to face the consequences if you deploy that tool, that firearm, that knife, that pepper spray. All right. And with today's advent of social media, guess what? It's all over the news, even before somebody else presses send on a tweet or whatever they're called now. X tweets, X's, I don't know. But right? And you're going to be crucified in the media. It's going to be an ugly mess. And I know some of you right now are thinking, well, then why would I want to carry a firearm? Why would I want to carry a knife? Why would I want to carry pepper spray if, X, Y, and Z is going to happen to my ABC? Well, because your life is important. And you know what? Quite honestly, we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which I know keeps getting brought up, and people, that's in the Constitution. I'm no constitutional scholar, but I don't remember reading that in the Constitution. All right. Anyway, it's your inalienable birthright to be able to defend yourself. And trust me, humans, our ancestors have been doing it since the dawn of time. It's been brutal. It's been ugly. But guess what? I say defend yourself and be prepared to defend yourself. That means having a can of pepper spray, having a can of mace, having a firearm, having a knife, on you, around you, easily accessible when you're out in public, because public in society, they're not nice. I don't care where you're at. Rural environment, urban environment. Yes, there are decent people out there. Yes, but who do you trust? I don't know. I don't know. You just can't sit there and go, oh, that person's trustworthy, because they could become a rabid dog in a heartbeat. I don't know. My point is, ladies, is that it doesn't matter if you're the Barbie dream house girl or you're the girl who's burning down the Barbie dream house, okay, is arm yourself, okay, because you never know when you may have to utilize that tool in your defense or the defense of a third person, okay? Number three, be prepared. Choose what you're going to do. Are you going to carry a knife? Are you going to carry a folder? Are you going to carry a fixed blade? Are you going to keep it in your vehicle? Are you going to keep it in your purse? Are you just going to have something that you can pull out of the small of your back and go, hi, you messed with the wrong mama? Okay. I don't know. That's up to you. What I can say is I believe it's very, very important to defend yourself, but you have to be prepared, not only mentally, but physically in some aspects, and you have to be prepared to utilize that tool and face the consequences. Okay. That's it. But yes, defend yourself. Buy a knife, okay? Buy something that's going to suit you. Buy something that you can rapidly deploy and use if need be. And it doesn't even have to be a knife. It doesn't have to be a firearm. It doesn't have to be a tank, a howitzer, or anything else. It could be something as simple as just a can of pepper spray on a keychain, okay? But be prepared to use it, and once again, be prepared to face the backlash, okay? But, hey, the old saying of it's better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6, yes. In some instances, actually a lot of instances, that's true, you know. And of course, I'm going to advocate for the 2 is 1, 1 is none. So if you're carrying a can of pepper spray on your keychain, hey, put one in your purse. Okay, put one in your vehicle. It's the same thing if you're going to do the same thing with a knife, right? 2 is 1, 1 is none. Okay, be safe. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to that gut feeling you got going. That's just saying something just ain't right, you know. And get out of Dodge if you have to. There is nothing wrong with running away. No one says you got to stay and fight. Now, of course, I know there's some women out there that are going to disagree with me on that one, but it's true. Sometimes you got to cut your losses and just head for the hills. Okay. I hope I'm going to wrap this up now. I do hope that it was a little bit informative for you. Okay. Self-defense. You know, as far as the ladies' perspective there. Like I said, it's hard to cover every situation. It's hard to cover every style and everybody in between. But quite honestly, ladies, protect yourself. Men, protect yourself. Because no one's coming to save you. Absolutely not. No one's coming to save me. No, hell no. But you've got to take it upon yourself to be physically prepared, mentally prepared, and most definitely prepared on the equipment side. Okay, like I said, whether it's something small like this, okay, this is actually quite light and very slim. Okay, that would be a great knife to carry either in a pocket on a purse. Okay, whatever you're deciding to carry. Okay, something like this, the Seal Pup, great knife, inexpensive. Okay, and even though this one came with kind of a, you know, not so good sheath, hey, put it in the sheath and keep it in the console of your car, your truck. Okay, you know, be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, folks. Like I said, I'll do a review of the Seal Pup and how it worked, especially with this. Okay, because this is hindering a lot. Well, what'd you do, Joel? Well, it was an older injury, and from tossing feet at work, it's stressed, it's sprained, it's not broken, but it still hurts. And I don't expect anybody to feel sorry for me because I did it myself. But anyway, yeah, enough of that. Anyway, folks, keep your head on a swivel, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and make sure, hey, don't take any wooden nickels. Till next time, see ya.